I'm just going to jump right into episode 3 of Interview with the Vampire. We are binging this, watching all 7 episodes of the first season. So yeah, I'm enjoying the show so much, and I cannot wait to see where it goes. I mean, I've made a couple of guesses of what I think is going to happen with Louis and Lestat's relationship, but how exactly it's going to break down and come to that, I have no clue. So we're just along for the ride, okay?
Used to be called the Place d'Armes. I prefer that, don't you?
Mm-hmm. The Louisiana Purchase was signed too. Pennywise, funk, foolish.
Say anything about how they used to take runaway slaves, cut their heads off, or pike them on the iron gates as a warning?
Again, I love they're not shying away from the race aspect.
That's to say,
everybody's so stupid.
Yeah. He steals from unfortunates, breaks into tenements, and robs them of their meager possessions.
And does that meet your satisfaction?
The shaking, I've snapped his spine. It's merely his nerves spasming. Eat! If for your reason or his heart fails us.
What was the point of that? Now you just killed him for nothing.
They talking about this place in Atlanta. You're angry.
I'm pondering.
Pondering what?
Your night had nothing to do with ridding the world of criminals, or finding some morality to buoy your existence.
Antoinette Brown and I will be here. Oh my God.
I don't want to kill people anymore. There it is.
Doesn't swim. Bird refusing flight. You can pretend you're a vegetarian. I can pretend the fool.
Oh, didn't that get your dick wet, gents?
Mr. Martin, what you hear is genius.
All I hear is a man that's never gotten his dick wet.
Actually, the man had 20 children in his lifetime, and you're sort of stuck on that wet dick zinger, Ferdinand.
He improved the melody for what would later become the Wolverine Blues.
Whoa. Hold on there. You're saying Lestat wrote the Wolverine Blues?
I can't be definitive. So much of that year was a blur, and you can imagine what time's inevitable hammer does to the minute details.
I was his complete superior, and I had been sadly cheated in having him for a teacher.
2022.
It was a cold winter that year, and Lestat was my cold fire, and I found myself for the very first time, to anyone other than Paul, confiding my struggles to another man. The version we speak of now is the more nuanced portrait.
Or the more rehearsed. You talk like he was your soulmate. Like you were locked in some fucked up gothic romance.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
This is the Odyssey of recollection. The tapes are an admitted performance. Half a century later, allow me my Odyssey.
Yeah, time warps your ideas of the past.
Talk like you play, Mr. Lee.
Lestat filled in for Jelly the next night. He and Miss Brown dazzled the waiting Johns and invited their admirers back to the Rue Royale. He would do his killing away from me now. Out of respect, he said, for the choice I had made. I barely had the energy to hold up a book. My libido was not what it had been. I understood the indulgence. I let it happen.
Mr. Louis, you have to convince Lestat to keep playing.
What do the employees at the Azalea say about Louis and Lestat?
I'll answer with a question. Are there 2 beds upstairs or 1?
Do you want to find out?
No one goes upstairs, Miss Brown.
Well, there's my answer.
So, what do you imagine confines us to a single note? He said, why when he's hungry?
So Lestat is starting to step out and have relations with other people, because of what Louis going through. I was thinking, yeah, I don't know if Lestat is gonna like grow bored of Louis because he's not embracing what they are, because he's been boring, you know, he's eating animals and, you know, not reveling in the pleasures. He even said his libido was down. So Louis is looking elsewhere, which is where I think the problems are going to be starting in their relationships. Louis is obviously very jealous. You know, he left while Lestat was with that woman. So yeah, this is definitely going to bring even more tension to their relationship if Lestat is looking elsewhere for company. And obviously people are starting to have suspicions about their relationships, and rumors are spreading about the nature of their relationships.
So you didn't kill her?
No. She has talents.
Aren't I enough? Don't laugh.
No.
Don't laugh.
No.
So I can fuck whoever I want.
Of course.
Yeah, he's probably
Of
gonna
course.
kill anyone he touches.
Of course. As long as you come home to me.
I feel like he's lying about
Of course.
that. Very much lying.
Been called a connie, a cow, and a bitch that ate 1,000 dicks. You want to apologize for calling me a woman? Oh, leave your wife. I'll make you a happy man, Mr. Anderson.
Washington's making us choose, Louis. It's either win the war or fuck the whore. This council's just stalling for time, chasing race. Don't feel like a stall. Feel a little beside the point.
There's a gentleman asking for you, Mr. Dulac. A man in uniform.
What, Jonah?
We the point do like.
Jonah Bacon.
See, Louis getting jealous. Or Lestat getting jealous.
Don't Gracie won't remember me.
Of course I remember.
I hope he doesn't kill him.
You were listening.
Look like you already rose up. About fair amount.
Done all right.
Done all right. You owed all this. Sign me up for done all right. And you've been blessed. It ain't your day since I see you last.
I care less what you look like or who you looking at.
Yeah, I got someone.
I figured as much. No ring on your finger?
Not a woman.
One of those you can drive out to the bayou? Kind of agreements? Oh, it's the Moonlight.
Speaking of Moonlight, great movie. I swear if Lestat kills Sam, I'm so mad! What if he kills him because it's a bloodlust, because he's just been eating animals?
We had a few early fumbles. He was 16. I was older. We both knew even then we were a little different.
Whose shoes are those?
The mud on his boots could have come from anywhere. Was
Oh,
it
he
raining
followed
that
them.
night?
He followed them into the woods.
Did it rain?
I don't remember now. No.
The Odyssey of Recollection.
And I love that they do that as well,
Decades
because
later.
if it's been so long, you would forget a
Your
lot of
lingering
things that
machine.
happened.
Apologies, Mr. Dulac.
Seeing my invitation got lost in the mail.
You want to come around, you come around when people are awake.
It's barely dinner time. I don't want to make a fuss.
6 months and you just show up. You're not welcome in this home.
Devil walks at night.
What? What did you say?
She's trying to suspect what he
What's
is.
going on out here?
Gang.
Go to your room. There he is.
Well, he just reveals himself. Lestat looks like he's gone a little mad.
Miss Bricktop wanted you to have this.
I think she's on to us.
Lestat is the one who started this and said it was okay, and he was very much not okay with it. So he can go out and do what he wants, but Louis can't.
What can I say? I'm a lot. I'm not perfect.
I know it. I knew you were there.
Yes.
You jealous?
Yes. I don't like sharing.
What about Antoinette?
It's different. I don't have feelings for her.
He did me some face and I drove him home. I heard your heart stamping! You watched the whole thing like some creeper.
And then I watched you pull over and drain the dog and run down an alleyway for 2 more rats. This is not a life.
That's because you took my life. How am I supposed to get bodies in the door without hookers, hooch, or cards?
Hey, you were given a courtesy and you ignored it. This tedious Negro, still clinging to his Creole heritage like a life raft.
Did you sell me the azalea because you knew this day was coming, Tom?
You put a sir on the end of that.
Am I from the devil? Is my very nature that of the devil? The state I was in, I was what? I was Manning.
This cease and desist order is granted by the New Orleans Council of Aldermen for the final infraction.
What broken windows?
Fine, as for their concern,
Rats, cats, dogs would no longer suffice.
OP.
man in America. Make him a vampire. Fuck with that vampire and see what comes of it. Breaking into my home is one thing. Making me drop my pathogen. Now that's a new blow. You are the first to drown. But that's your problem, Louis. Always has been. You're arrogant. And your pale lover with this seemingly endless supply of capital. And that's what I am, Louis.
The sun.
The sun.
Shut up.
Walk away.
I was gonna say, what's that noise?
Everything that's been done is legal under the City of New Orleans Charter. And again,
I'll let you reload.
Just here.
You said I'm arrogant?
where are you?
I'm a vampire.
It's the first time he admitted it. He didn't like calling himself a vampire before. Well.
I must confess I'm very proud of you, Louis. It goes against much of my teaching, but you managed to execute it with such aplomb. You did what you did because it gave you pleasure. Companion of the dark gift, finally. We should make this our anniversary.
Anniversary? That's why you're always gonna be alone.
Ooh, okay. So first we see Louis finally embrace what he is. It's his first time saying that he's a vampire. He didn't even like that word before. Because these men pushed him too far. And then he hit Lestat. Because Lestat is like, you know, stop giving these excuses. You did it because you wanted to. You did it because it was your nature. I don't want to hear the excuses. Just say that just admit that you liked it and you wanted to do it. Because Lestat wants to live with Louis, just being evil, just like being their full, the darkest parts of themselves. And he wants Louis to, you know, embrace that. And they can embrace it together. But, you know, Louis is still in denial about the, you know, that's the reason he did it. And, especially because of what his mother said, he's very ashamed, that his family saw him like that. And then he hit Lestat with his biggest fear. Lestat, admitted to him that his deepest fear was being alone. And Louis just used that against him. To be like, we're not good for each other. Like I said earlier, I said they're not right for each other at all. they bring out the worst in each other. And Louis is beginning to realize that. And he was like, you're going to end up alone. And I'm very curious and afraid of how Lestat is going to respond to that. He's probably going to crash out. Louis, or at the town or whatever. Because that hit a very vulnerable part of himself. And yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be like a downward spiral in response to this.
Who had tested his strength on a small bird and now asked, can I make it whole again?
Can I help you? Please let me help you.
Retribution. It was I who should pay for this sin. Is marked in time. A rooming house, now a fire trap. I could not save the aunt on the wrong side of the wall, but I could save her. My light, my Claudia, my redemption.
So that little girl, I think I've seen her in TikToks before, because I've seen a few TikToks of this show, and yeah, there was a little girl in the TikToks, and she hasn't been introduced yet, so I guess this is her. This is how he found her, about to burn alive in this building. So interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see, because he said that she's his redemption or whatever. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting how she plays a part on the narrative, because so far it's basically just been Louis and Lestat and their story, but now with this little girl coming in, that's gonna be another piece, another, so. And I'm really curious to see how that's going to play a part on the story, and who Louis is now that we see him, in the present, and what happened to this little girl, because we don't see her when Louis is talking to the interviewer. Is she dead now? What happened to her? And why aren't they together now? Interesting. Let's go on to episode 4.